Want to give you guys the floor on thoughts on this Jake Paul signing with PFL, what it means for the promotion. People talking about it moving them in number 2 over Bellator, where and all that stuff. So, want to get your thoughts there.
And you know what? Those people are idiots. That's what they are. Anyone that says that shit, you're stupid. Okay, it's the dumbest thing I ever heard. They've got 5 good fighters on their roster, and I love all their fighters. They got 5 good ones, so I don't want to ever hear that they're number 2. Okay, shut up. Now, whether you're friends with Jake Paul and I think he brings a lot of clout, he absolutely does. I think he does, and I think this was a great idea by him, or a great situation that I think it was good. It depends on how he handles it. But to sit there and say that I don't think he's gonna fight MMA. I think he's gonna come in, be the face a little bit. You know, he may dabble a little bit and say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and have some altercations with somebody. But he's gonna have to fight someone his size. He hasn't fought anybody his size. He's fought Anderson. That's it. You know, and I get it, but this is not going to be a stand-up kickboxing fight. It's not going to be a boxing fight. It's going to be MMA. And if that happens, he has to fight someone his size. I mean, I don't know their whole roster that I can see right now, and I don't know their whole roster. But their top 4 guys, their top 5 guys in their tournaments, it ain't looking good for him. He can wrestle, he can box. But you put him in that cage, when that door closes, it's different. And I hope he does, John. I like that he did this because it brings more eyeballs to the sport. And I've always said more eyeballs on this sport, whether it's PFL, whether it's Bellator, One, Ryzen, whatever it is, the better. Absolutely, the better.
Let me ask you this, and this is my only thing. And again, I think for Jake Paul, I think it's a great thing. I think it puts his name back out again in a different fashion. He can do a lot of things with the PFL, but the one thing that I question, and it's he became what by doing this deal?
Investor.
An investor? He's not an investor.
What did he do?
He's fucking a person that owns a percentage.
Yeah.
That's not an investor. An investor puts something in financially. He didn't put anything in financially. He is only able to take out because, and I look at this, it scares me. And again, I can be completely wrong, but let's take a look at things in a serious fashion. I look at the PFL. They've got a deal with ESPN, but they're not making big money off of that deal with ESPN. You know that. I know that. As far as the numbers that they're getting for it. But it's a good platform for them. I really...
Amazing.
Exactly. I think it's fantastic. I don't think they should change it. You can look at they did their pay-per-view. Okay. So what happened with their pay-per-view?
I heard it did under 10,000.
Okay. So what does that mean? That's a failure, man. That's bad. Okay. We're talking really bad. So now I have a company giving some of their shares to somebody to come in to do publicity for them. Okay. You look, Josh, and you go, normally this is not a good thing. This is when a company is having problems. And I look at it and I go, I hope that's not true. And I hope they're not having problems, but it doesn't look, if you're looking at everything, it looks great. It's all flashy. They did a nice little flashy thing. Jake Paul's not going to bring a ton of numbers for him. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's not going to fight Nate Diaz, excuse me. Okay. That ain't happening. And you can sit there and say whatever you want. Who do you put Jake Paul against? Look at, they've had, good boxers come into the PFL. Clarissa Shields. She's a good boxer. She's a 2-time Olympic champion. She's a world champion in boxing. And how did she do?
Yeah.
They had to try to give her people that she could beat. And she only did that the one time. And then in the second one, all of a sudden she got beat. I'm going to say it. Kimbo Slice, a guy I loved. I loved Kevin. He was a great guy. But you had a company that used him as this marketing piece because people followed him. But the biggest problem was he had a hard time fighting MMA. And you look and you go, I just don't know how it's going to, in the end, why is this happening? Why are they taking this grand of a step in giving away part of their company to a guy that has never fought MMA? Yeah, he's an influencer, but let's be honest. You can sit there and say everything you want about how many people follow him. When it comes to people that have been watching him now box, what have the numbers been doing?
Yeah.
They're going down.
Yep. No, I get it,
Look
John.
at
I get it. No, I get it.
Showtime ate it.
Yeah.
With Jake Paul.
That's why when I hear that, oh, he's going to be in MMA, he's going to be part of the investment group or whatever it was, that this now makes them number 2. Shut up. It does not.
I don't worry about that.
No, I'm simply saying it's not even so much that it makes it number 2. If I've been hearing that you put him in the leadership role.
That's
get
great.
Get rid of, but they're saying get rid of Ray Sefo, get rid of whoever the other top guy is there.
You know, and look, I would hate for them to get rid of Ray because I love Ray, and Ray's a good guy. You've known Ray for a long time.
Yeah, I've known Ray for 22 years.
Dude. He's got a heart of gold. He's a wonderful human being. But if you're looking, you want a guy that's kind of like Dana. It's not Ray, but it is Jake.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I get it.
I'm not trying to compare it personality wise, but I'm saying as far as getting people to listen to him, the influence that he can have. You know, again, I am trying in no way to put Jake Paul down in any ways. I think this is a fantastic deal for him. Great that he's trying to do this.
Absolutely.
Way to go. Way to go. I'm just not too sure that it's the right deal for the PFL. And it scares me if they're making that type of deal. Why are you making that deal?
Yeah, I never thought about the fact that why are you making the deal? And I just assumed that they were going to keep Ray there and keep, who's the other guy at the top? I can't remember his name. But the two of them, keep them there. Bring Jake in just to kind of stir the pot a little bit. Maybe, do some promos. I didn't anticipate him fighting MMA. I mean, if they wanted to, maybe doing like a boxing match in the cage, kind of how one does. I could see something like something gimmicky that way happening. I think you bring him on just to get that new audience in, because their audience is stagnant right now. But we saw with Showtime, it didn't work. It just didn't work. Like,
no,
the ticket sales weren't there. The numbers in the pay-per-views weren't there. I mean, they paid him a lot of money and it didn't produce.
That's right.
And so, whether I like him or not, I actually do.
I do like him. I like him. I love how he's trying to do things for fighters and everything. I think that's great.
No, I like his approach.
I have nothing bad to say about Jake Paul, and I have nothing bad to say about Jake Paul in this, this whole,
nothing.
Hey, coming to MMA and being part of the PFL.
Yeah, we started off, John, on the show with some negative stuff, right? But then the whole whole direction that I originally wanted to go was, I'm not here to destroy these guys. I'm here to be like, dude, this is to me, I thought it was a great deal for him. For me, I thought it was a great opportunity. Great opportunity.
I don't know if it's a great deal for them.
Yeah, because we don't know where their mindset is and how they plan on using him.
You're right. I don't know where their mindset's at.
Yeah.
But financially, you have an idea of where they're at. And that's scary because they're needed.
They are. The PFL's needed, One's needed, Ryzen's needed, Bellator's needed. Everyone's needed. If you want to drive up the price for fighters to get paid, then you're going to need more organizations.
Have these places for them.
You got to have these other organizations. Now, they don't all need to be UFC level, but you need to have a little backsplash for them to get to. Because like I said, with the Anthony Johnson situation, he got booted out of the UFC because he couldn't make the weight, went to the World Series of Fighting, had great fights, great finishes, boom, back up to the UFC after he established his weight and made a shit ton of money. Having these other organizations that keep your eyes, keeps the top brass in the UFC or the top brass in Bellator or the top brass in wherever, keeping their eyes on you because you're in a bigger organization that's on TV and on ESPN and, and One is on Amazon and PFL is on ESPN. Like, all these organizations are on something. It gives the other organizations the opportunity to say, you know what? I might want that fighter. Now I can see them. If those other organizations are not there, then there's no bidding war. They just got to keep going back to the same thing, that the same company that wasn't paying them shit before.
Yeah.
So I like what Jake Paul's doing. I think he's doing a great job. I love how he's poking the bear with Dana. I like the whole money thing. I love all that. I love that, man. He's doing a great job. I just don't know the direction of which PFL wants to use him and how much are they going to invest in him after giving him. I thought he had paid in. That's what I had thought. I didn't know that. I thought they had brought it. I thought he had bought in and now he owned part of the company.
No.
Okay. So that being said, though, but still, great deal for him. Great job for him. Hopefully he does well.
100% agree. Look,